pallets fall from the sky.
Again?
Here are the 10 things you need to know. What's going on? It's Mike. Today we're going to talk about how to get started in the liquidation industry. Here is a list of 10 things you need to know. Number 1, creating your goal. This is the single most important aspect of starting a business. You need to know your destination. Whether it's a side hustle, opening a retail store, you're opening a wholesale business, you're going to be selling online on multiple different sales channels from Amazon to Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, and everything in between. You need to know where you're going. Similar to taking a road trip, this is your destination. Where I am today versus where I want to be whenever it is for you. Next week, next month, next year, 5 years, 10 years. That's your decision. But you need to figure out where you're going in order to take all those micro little steps and the action needed to get to that goal. We as account managers of VA Trading are here to help you bring that goal to life. Number 2, the business. Now here's where you figure out how you're actually going to sell this product. It's not enough to just come into a wholesale liquidation company and be like, hey, I want to buy merchandise to resell. Sure, someone may sell you something, but here at VA Trading in particular, we're going to try and get a better understanding of how you want to sell, what sales channel you want to use. If you're going to sell online versus selling as a wholesaler, it's completely different product recommendations we can give you. Right? If you're selling online, you may not want to sell big, bulky items. You want to sell higher value, smaller items that you can ship easily. If you're an auctioneer, are you selling by the pallet? Are you selling by the piece? The same thing can be said for retail stores, flea markets, yard sales, whatever business you choose to start, you need to figure out the ins and outs about it. That's where the research comes in. Ask your account manager, do some market research around where that store may be, the size of the store, how much rent is, do you need a reseller's permit, so on and so forth. Number 3, what product? This is where you figure out what product you actually want to sell. It's one thing to love fashion, love clothing, jewelry, accessories, and it's another to be able to sell that merchandise. It depends on your target market, depends on your sales channel, which we just touched about. The most important part about figuring out the product you want to sell is your customer base. Obviously, you're just getting started, so you don't have feedback from your actual customers, but you can still do that research. You can still speak to your account manager and figure out what merchandise is going to sell best in the sales channel that you're choosing. So if you're good with your hands, you're familiar with tools, you can repair tools, that could be a great option for you. But is your target market, the people in your area, wherever you're going to sell, are they looking for tools? Is there a market for tools there? These are the things you need to think about. So always remember, you're not your customer. You need to figure out who your customer is and what your customer wants. Number 4, product conditions. Are you buying master case items, new overstock items, shelf pulls, or customer returns? Do you even know what any of these are? Is this just driving you nuts, just trying to figure out, wait, I thought I was just buying merchandise? Well, that's what we're here for. So you got master case items. These are brand new items in their original brown boxes. New overstock is brand new merchandise. They're just not in their original brown boxes. So you'll see the retail packaging. Shelf pulls. These are items that were on the shelf and pulled from the shelves. So you have a little bit of risk there, little bit of risk. It could be items that somebody tried on in the changing room. They left it on the floor. The next person came in, kind of kicked it away. Now it's got a little bit of dirt on it. That's a shelf pull. It's something you can find in a store. Lastly, you got customer returns, the bread and butter of liquidation. What are customer returns? These are items that have been purchased and then returned to the store. Items could be returned because they're unwanted brand new gifts. They could be used once, realized it didn't fit their needs, they returned it. They could also be missing pieces, they could be damaged, they could be used. What we say, it's the good, bad, and ugly. But we personally don't know each individual item, why it was returned. That's the risk you take with customer returns. So to recap, master case, new overstock, shelf pull, and customer returns, the choice is yours. Number 5, the investment needed. Now, you may be asking yourself, I don't have enough money to get started. I don't have $10,000. I don't even have $1,000. How do I get started in the liquidation industry? Well, luckily for you, we sell merchandise starting at around $100. You can buy a case pack, you can even buy pallets sometimes at $100 or $200. Prices will always vary, but you don't need large capital to start. You can start today, right now. Now, if you want to go big and you got the capital, you got the money, you want to buy a $10, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 truckload, guess what? We got that as well. We have merchandise starting at the low hundreds and up. Something for everybody, from case packs to pallets to multi-pallet lots to full truckloads and container loads. Number 6, do I have time? That's something that comes up a lot. Do you ever hear yourself saying, I don't have time? Let me tell you something. you 100% have the time. It's just a choice. Where is your time going? We all have the same amount of time. How do people achieve more than others? Now, let's say you got a 9 to 5, you're working, you love your job, you just want to make some extra money. It's a side hustle. You want to sell stuff on the weekend. Awesome. How much time do you need? Well, that's going to depend on you. That's going to depend on where you want to go. Goes back to the original conversation we have. Where is your goal? Hope you've been writing all this down, because go back to point 1, also point 2. That's where time comes in. Because if you want to be that wholesale mogul and you want to create a $50 million business in 5 years, you're probably going to need a little bit more time than someone that's looking for a side hustle to make a few $1,000, few $100 extra on the weekends. Ultimately, nobody has time. You make the time. It's a priority. So once you figure out your goal, the type of business you want to start, type of merchandise you want to start, and the product conditions, you figure out how much time you need for that. Number 7, how much space do I need? Now that's a loaded question, but ultimately depends on how much product you plan on purchasing. Whether you buy a truckload, buy the pallet, or a case pack, you're gonna have completely different space requirements. Dimensions of your typical pallet are 40 by 48 inches and will vary in height. So think about how many pallets you're purchasing, that's how much space you're gonna need. For example, if you're purchasing by the truckload, you're gonna need space for 24 or more of these. You also have space that you need to process the merchandise. Maybe you need to put a table out, open the boxes, lay merchandise out, an area to take pictures. That all depends on your particular business. For detailed information, make sure to contact your account manager directly. Number 8, experience? You may be asking yourself, what experience do I need? I've never bought or sold anything in my life. Where do I even get started? So whether you have experience yourself buying or selling merchandise, or you have friends and family who have been buying and selling and can steer you and guide you in a direction you want to go in, guess what? We are here for you. Account managers at Via Trading have been supplying wholesale liquidation merchandise to resellers of all types for the past 20 years. That's since 2002. We've seen customers start by buying one case pack for $100 or $200, now have retail stores. We've had customers come in that have multiple retail stores, now that have multiple sales channels, online, wholesale, auction house, in their retail stores, all around the world. But ultimately, experience comes the more you work at this, the more you study, the more you actually take action to your business to start buying and selling, you will build that experience. Just take that first step. Number 9, the real. So buying and selling wholesale liquidation merchandise is a long-term business. This isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. There are risks involved, just like there are in any other business. Because it's one thing to buy and sell merchandise and think it's all nice and pretty and we're all gonna be rich tomorrow. It's one thing to actually be working with liquidation merchandise and understand the risks involved. So if you buy customer returns, there's no guarantee that all the merchandise you get is gonna be sellable. Remember when we discussed customer returns, we said it's the good, bad, and ugly. So you could get a pallet, that's amazing. You double, tripled your money on a pallet, but the next pallet you buy could be, okay, you made a little bit of money. The next pallet you get, you could call one of us back, whoever your account manager is, and be like, what did you sell me? I can't make money off of this. That is, first and foremost, perception. Because if you approach something thinking that you can't make money out of it, or you can't do anything with it, you've thrown in a towel. You've surrendered. You've quit, ultimately, on yourself. Because that is the nature of liquidation. Again, you get the good, bad, and the ugly. Doesn't even matter if it's customer return or not, because it could be brand new overstock, but it's not a product that's a hot seller for you. You gotta get creative. You gotta figure out where you're gonna move it. Going back to customer returns, if you've got 2 blenders, both of them are broken, oh no, I can't sell this anymore. 100% you can. Try and find a way to mix and match those to create one blender. Guess what? Get even more creative. Sell them for parts. There is a whole marketplace out there for parts. You gotta figure out if you're prepared for those risks. Are you prepared to take that risk? You tell me, because I can't tell you. We can steer you in the right direction. We can support you. We can hold your hand. We can do it all together. But ultimately, it's your responsibility. Again, going back to that goal, where do you wanna be? What are you willing to do to get there? That's what matters. Just know, there are ways to fail. Throw in the white towel, quit, give up, real easy. But there's also ways to make money. Are you gonna make money on every single pallet? Are you gonna fail? Are you gonna fall right on your face? Probably, because that's how you learn. That's where you gain that experience from. But guess what? Every time you fall, if you get back up and you keep on going, that's where you're gonna figure out what works for you and what doesn't work for you. If you buy one pallet, doesn't do amazing. You buy another pallet, gets a little bit better. This is a long-term play. You can't base your entire business off the feedback you're giving yourself and your account managers off of one purchase. Not even 2 purchases. I would always recommend you buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, base your feedback on all those 5 purchases, and then figure out if you've made money, lost money, you've broke even. Now, for example, we sell pallets of single shoes. Yes, single shoes. That means 1 shoe, not 2. Hold up. Now, guess what? Some people may look at that and be like, I can't make money on that. Even at 50 bucks, I can't make money on that. But guess what? There's a whole market out there for single shoes. Google it, eBay it, you'll see it. There is a market for that. So you can approach it in 2 different ways. It's the defeatist mentality. You gut your pallet and you've already thrown in the towel. You've lost. You've lost before you've even started. The other one is you get that same pallet of single shoes that majority of people don't know what to do with and are going to curse somebody out for even selling it to them. But you can look at it and see opportunity. Now, another example, if you're selling at a yard sale or flea market, or even on things like OfferUp and Facebook Marketplace, and you're selling higher end designer clothing, stuff that's higher value, and you sit there and you're like, oh gosh, I'm not selling this, I'm not making any money on this. Ask yourself, is that the right product for that resale channel? Again, we are here to hold your hands, to walk you through it, to teach you. So if you're selling higher end designer, higher value brands and items, in a marketplace where people are expecting to haggle, negotiate, and pay low prices, chances are you're not going to make as much money there as you could on a different sales channel. So this goes back to everything we've been discussing. You got to figure out what you're buying, where you're selling it, how, and why. Another example, if you're selling big, bulky, large items, but you're selling online, chances are the shipping may cost you more than the merchandise itself, regardless of how valuable the item is. So in those cases, you need to look around you. Do local pickups. Open up a little storage unit. Go to the flea market. Have a yard sale. Find the right sales channel for the products you chose to sell. Number 10, the boring but necessary stuff. First things first, how do I register with VIA Trading? Can I come into your warehouse? Are you open to the public? Can I physically come in here and visit you, see the merchandise, and meet you face to face? How does shipping work? What payment methods do you accept? Where do I get a reseller's permit? Do I need a tax ID? Do I need a business license? All this information is crucial. And luckily for you, we've compiled it all on our website. So click the link in the description. Again, click the link in the description. It's gonna give you the answers to every single one of those questions. From how do I register to are we open to the public, when we're open, what payment methods, everything is gonna be right there for you. Now, if you're ready, just give us a call, 877-202-3616. If you're already registered and you've already taken that step, log into your account at viatrading.com, call your account manager, and let's get going. Now, if you like this video, you want to see more of this type of content, give us a like. That's a thumbs up. Make sure you click it. The more likes we get, the higher up it goes, and more people get to understand how to get started in the liquidation industry. Make sure to subscribe, click the notification bell, comment, comment, comment. Let us know what you found valuable. Let us know what additional information you want, and we'll see you next time. Peace!